Being a teenager is not easy. As we emerge into adults, we often forget that we all were once teens. We are unable to recall that turbulent time in our life when everything just started to make sense, but nothing really made sense at all. Teenagers are quickly judged and labeled by their thoughts, actions, interests, and emotional states. Everyone thinks that teenagers are literally crazy. The truth is that teenagers are not crazy at all, just misunderstood. Today, we will be discussing the health and physical development that occurs in adolescence. During the adolescent years, there are a lot of changes that are taking place within the body. Although there are numerous changes, in this video, we will talk about the physical and biological changes that occur during this phase of development, the emotional and mental state of the adolescent, and the process of developing an identity. The physical changes in adolescence are one of the obvious signs of transitioning from child to adulthood. This stage is often referred to as puberty. During puberty, the pituitary gland, a pea-shaped gland located at the bottom of the brain, releases a special hormone. Depending on whether you're male or female, these hormones go to work on different parts of the body. For girls, puberty can start as young as 8 and as late as 13, and for boys, as early as 9 and as late as 15. This wide range of ages makes the typical group of teens look very different. Some can look very young, while others can have facial hair and more mature figures. This can be a very difficult time for teens as they learn how to cope with the many changes their bodies are going through. It is quite surprising how even the senses of adolescents are changing as well. Hearing, taste, smell, and even the eyesight changes. Just as the hormones change the way their body looks on the outside, they also create changes on the inside. During puberty, teens feel confused or have strong emotions that they can't quite explain. They typically feel overly sensitive or become upset very easily. This transition and cognitive development is what Piaget calls the formal operational stage. In the formal operational stage, adolescents can think about abstract concepts. Adolescents are now able to understand scientific reasoning and hypothetical deductive reasoning. Since adolescents are now able to think abstractly, they begin to think about their identity. They begin to ask questions about their beliefs, morals, and who they are as individuals. Formal operation thought leads to adolescent egocentrism. This is when adolescents struggle to distinguish their own thoughts and feelings from others. In this stage of life, the adolescent is trying to figure out who they are and where they want to end up in the future. Moratorium period is a time during the high school and college years when they are relatively free of responsibilities and can experiment with different roles to find themselves. There are 4 stages of identity status: diffusion status, foreclosure status, moratorium status, identity achievement status. As you can tell, as the adolescent is trying to figure out who they are, it can be stressful on their minds, which in turn creates an unhealthy lifestyle. Stress causes damage to the immune system and the nervous system. The sudden, rapid physical changes that adolescents go through make adolescents very self-conscious, sensitive, and worried about their body changes. They make painful comparisons about themselves. This quote shows that physical changes contribute to finding identity in adolescence. It also makes it somewhat more difficult. Let's take a look back and conclude what we have discussed. Adolescence is a critical transitional period that includes the biological changes of puberty and the need to negotiate key development tasks such as increasing independence and normative experimentation. Adolescents can think about multiple variables in systematic ways, can formulate hypotheses, and think about abstract relationships and concepts. During adolescence, young people go through many changes as they move from childhood into physical maturity. The sudden and rapid physical changes that adolescents go through make adolescents very self-conscious, sensitive, and worried about their own body changes. They make painful comparisons about themselves with their peers. Because physical changes may not occur in a smooth, regular schedule, adolescents may go through awkward stages, both about their appearance and their physical coordination. Girls may be anxious if they are not ready for the beginning of their menstrual periods. Boys may worry if they do not know about nocturnal emissions. During adolescence, it is normal for teens to begin to separate from their parents and establish their own identity. In some cases, this may occur without a problem. However, in some families, the adolescent's rebellion may lead to conflict as the parents try to keep control while adolescents turn to their friends. The transition to adulthood is a complicated process in which teens start taking definite steps to achieve their own financial, residential, and emotional independence to take on more adult roles, such as citizen, spouse, parent, and worker.